New York's finest just got a whole lot finer.
Hey, you know who just nipped at my nose? Jack Frost.
Huh, you know who just nipped at my ear? Jack, I don't care.
Thank you, Hans. Nothing else in the universe can do what you do.
Don't freak out, just stay calm.
It's Hard-Headed Sports with Spinny and Fetty Bus. Famous for their podcasts, you can now catch them right here on The Al Travis Show.
Love having them on. They're both a couple of coaches. Spinny, Fetty, thanks for being here. Spin, let's start with you. Your season's slowing down as we're getting near the end of the season for volleyball and the St. Olaf Olies. How did the girls do in the tournament last weekend?
Good, yeah. We won our first round game against Northwestern, so that was fun. Yep. Got a little 3-0 sweep revenge on them from earlier in the year, which was fun.
Nice.
And then we lost in the second round to Illinois Wesleyan, who was the 1 seed in 5. They were up 2-0. We won sets 3 and 4, and then couldn't quite make it happen in set 5. So really great season, though. We had 2 All-Americans on our team.
I was just going to ask this Ryan and Miller gal. They both become All-Americans. When's the last time the Olies had 2?
Man, it's been a long time. I don't know for a fact, but probably 1996 or 1998. Those are the best 2 Oli teams probably ever. So I would guess going back that far. Also, Ryan, she was second team All-American, but the highest libero on the entire list. No other liberos on first or second team other than her. So,
and for folks who don't understand volleyball like you and I, Spilly, as far as I understand, that libero, a person, that's the one who gets to wear any color shirt she wants. That's the difference, right?
Yes, she gets to wear a different color jersey, plays the whole time in the back row. So kind of a position that gets undervalued when it comes to awards, but is one of the most important positions in the sport. So I think she got robbed a little bit on that first team All-American award, but one of the best players I've ever coached, legitimately.
Well, congratulations. What happens now? They get to take some weeks off. You go right into what? Recruiting for next year, I presume.
Yes, sir. Had a recruit on campus Sunday. Got to fortunately miss that atrocious Vikings game, thankfully. Thanks, sir.
We'll talk about that.
Yes, back into it.
And then on the other side, we've got a coach with the Bethany Lutheran College men's basketball team, the Vikings. Bus, your season just kind of getting started. Where are you guys sitting? How are things going?
Yeah, things are going well. We're 4-3 so far to start the season. We're kind of getting on a roll here as of late, so hopefully we can keep that going. We play tonight against Oak Hills Christian College and then have another game on Saturday against River Falls. So 2 games this week. Hopefully we can get 2 wins.
These are both home games. If a person was up there in Mankato want to run on there, take a look there. Okay, so there's 6 o'clock tonight. I'm seeing
6 o'clock and
2 on Saturday.
Around 2 o'clock,
that's what it says on the lineup. All right, and 4-3. A lot of guys not rushing home to write stories about that, but you are finding your groove. And none of this is conference play. You guys are 4 times champions, so you're not too concerned yet.
No, not at all. And we knew there'd be some growing pains because we only had 1 returner from our rotation last year. A lot of new guys to the rotation, transfers, and guys that have been on the team but just haven't played yet, as they played behind our older guys from the last couple of years. So still finding our groove, and things are definitely looking up, and we just got to keep putting the work in to get better.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk a little Minnesota Vikings action. I go to you, Spinny. You said you didn't even watch the game, but I presume you heard about it. Did you hear anything good about it? Was there one good thing about that football game, in your opinion?
No, I mean, I did go back and I watched the whole first half and then watched just the highlight plays of the second half. And
were there highlight plays in the second half?
I was going to say low light plays in the second half is more like it. I mean, listen, your quarterback can't turn the ball over 5 times and expect anything positive. I mean, that's the end of it.
But okay, fine. That's what you got. And that's easy. It's so easy to go after Brosmer. And again, I'm now thinking it isn't a JJ problem. It's not a Brosmer problem. I mean, not that they're great, don't get me wrong, but there's problems all over this team. Going for it on 4th and 1, not making that. The play call was interesting. I think some time management stuff was weird. The only thing that looked semi-decent to me was our defense. Boss, am I crazy here? what stood out that I mean the guys receivers are dropping passes they would catch on a regular basis. They're dropping those. We had one fumble out of those 5 turnovers. One was a fumble that wasn't anything to do with Brosmer. Your thoughts, Bus? I just don't think it's a one player thing.
I do. Well, I will agree with that. Like it wasn't the best played game for everyone on the roster for sure.
Yep.
We definitely had receivers drop easy balls.
Yep.
Defense was fine. Honestly, defense has been fine. They're trying to hold us in this game. I never really have an issue with defense. Obviously, KOC on 3rd and short and 4th and short has been horrendous with his play calls this year so far. I don't know what's going on with him. But at the same time, the quarterback is by far the biggest issue. Brosmer and JJ are just they don't have it. They're not good at all. And do I have faith that JJ could get better at some point? For sure. I mean, the dude is still only 22 years old, right? Definitely needs a lot more game reps, but I haven't seen honestly, he's giving me Christian Ponder vibes. That's what Spinny has said before, and it's not looking good. I haven't seen enough flashes. There have been a lot of great quarterbacks who started just as bad as this. I get the Ponder thing, so it's hard for me to do that. You look at Brosmer, even in this, he had 3 linemen of the 5 weren't starting linemen against a Seattle team that is absolutely fantastic with their front 4. But I want to ask you this, Spinny, more of a personality question. Thielen did not play in the game. Thielen last week, we find out, said, you know what, love being a Viking, but you're not going to play me enough. He ended up sliding to 4th on the roster or something. So he asked if he could go out and look and go find someplace to play for his last year. He writes something to the Minnesota Viking fans, how he's a Minnesota through and through. And again, I like the kid, but this is the classless move of all time. They brought him back here, gave an opportunity to play some football where we were down a guy, and now he wants to slip out for the last 5 games, but says he'll come back here to retire. Am I wrong, Spinny? No, you do what Smith does. You don't get to play. You sit there, be a team player. 5 more games, make your millions, and stop.
I don't think you could be much more wrong, Al, to be honest with you.
What?
Hey,
wait a minute. Let's talk about the name of the program here, The Al Travis Show. What did you just say? I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Al is Wrong Show. New title.
Breaking title.
The thing is, Al, it's his last year. The man's already had a short NFL career with how long he had to grind to get an opportunity. I wouldn't want to go out on a losing team that's not going to make the playoffs with no role. So,
all right, then you're going to be fine with Jefferson saying the same thing. I'm too good for this. I've been here. Why do you let this kid off the hook?
Because Thielen is not in the prime of his career where we're actually going to use it. He's irrelevant to us. It's a guy we're keeping on the roster for essentially no reason. We're not going to make the playoffs. We're not going to win games. Let him go somewhere and finish his career winning football games.
Minnesota let him go. They let him go, but don't tell me you're Mr. Minnesota. Tell me I'm wrong, Buzz. Come on. You know I'm not wrong. Don't tell me you're Mr. Minnesota and you're going to take off for 5 games at the end of your career.
Do you think he can actually contribute on a winning team, though? Because I don't think he has it even in him. I really don't.
He's slowed down a ton. He's dropping balls. And I'm not ripping the guy. I like the guy. I think this is a non-classy move. You have 5 games to go in your career and you want to go get on a winning team and be the 3rd-string receiver somewhere else, and because you got to play all the way into the playoffs, I think it shows something.
It's kind of funny, though, because it's why didn't he just want to stay on the Panthers then? He requested a trade from the Panthers. Panthers are actually decent and are sitting in a playoff position right now, which is insane to say. I obviously don't think they're very good, but still, they are in a playoff position right now. He could have just simply not requested a trade and probably been playing a ton of snaps on that team. So,
Spinny, would you like to change your mind now after hearing both Bus and I had great arguments?
No, I would not. I would like to be stubborn, and I would like to say that Adam Thielen's multiple years of 1,000-yard receiving for the Vikings, as well as everything he's contributed to Minnesota football, top to bottom, he deserves 5 games on a winning team if he wants it.
Wow, okay. Spinny, we're looking at it all differently. He can do it. Good for him. Go make the money. I've always said these kids got to make the money when they can make money.
He's making less money. It's not like he's making more money.
Well, then it literally is, don't tell me you're a big Minnesota Vikings guy. I'm a Vikings guy as long as they win. If he's not, We're playing football. We got 5 more games. It didn't look like football. Okay,
that's make the playoffs awful. Losing.
I'm not saying it's pretty, but then don't tell me you're Vikings through and through. Because you know what? I got to sit here for the next 5 games through and through. I got to watch it. So I got my own problems. I got to get a break. Spin, remember what you said about me being wrong on my own show. Just remember that someday. And if there's a horse head in your bed someday, you'll know what happened. And that's a cultural reference. You're going to have to look it up. Look up The Godfather. Back after this.
You need a friend at the Capitol who knows how to get things done.
And you're in luck because that's exactly who we are, your friends at the Capitol, and we deliver results.
At Momentum Advocacy, we bring decades of experience in lobbying, public affairs, and crisis communications.
From local nonprofits to national corporations, we help you move policy, manage your media, and make your voice heard.
We're not just seasoned pros, we're essential partners.
Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol. Learn more at momentum-advocacy.com.
Don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on the Al Travis Show.
And we've got Spinny and Fetty Buzz from Hard-Headed Sports. Spinny's going to walk gently, I trust, the rest of the way through this. Spin, I'll start with you. Are my Minnesota Timberwolves coming out of that weird funk where they were giving up games they shouldn't have? I say that, I think it was with the Celtics. When I was watching that ball game this weekend, they were up like 12 points with 3 minutes to play, and I said, here we go. And then the Minnesota I watched happened, and with a minute to go, it was tied. Now, they end up winning the ball game, and I love that. They also beat the Spurs 125-112 without Victor, which I think makes a big difference. And they have the Pelicans coming up. Have they gotten through their woes of losing games they should win?
I am never going to say that about a Minnesota team, I don't think, ever in my life, that they have gotten past losing to teams they should win. But the last 2 games have been good and encouraging. I've liked the ball movement more. I feel like our second and third scores have got more involved as well. Hasn't been such an Anthony Edwards-dominated offense, even though it's going to be that mostly. I think our schedule, obviously, the next 3 games, both teams 10 games under 500. So hopefully we'll get a little proof in the pudding going forward to see if we actually can beat teams we should beat.
And then it starts getting a little tougher. Bus, you feeling any movement with this squad as far as getting to a place? Last year they did a lot of this same stuff, but by the end of the year they are on a roll. They get to the conference finals. I just see them taking a step back. Are we coming back towards the front again of the pack and saying we can beat decent teams?
Yeah, I think so, honestly. We desperately need to make a trade by the deadline for a point guard. I mean, I think that's the biggest connecting issue we have, especially in late game situations. Anthony Edwards is not a point guard. Yeah, sure, he can bring the ball up and
neither is DiVincenzo, right?
Correct. And I don't know. I just like the idea of Ant just more off ball in the half court as opposed to bringing it up and then getting off ball from there. But he has done a good job so far this season.
Let me throw this out to you, though. Let me throw this out to you. Yeah, but that's the problem. You have one score and that's it. Randall, in my opinion, has really stepped up. I've loved Randall this entire year. I think this shows that he can be a number 2 guy and really be that guy. But the talk is, if we're going to make a trade to get a real point guard, Randall's got to be in the mix. Spinny, would you trade Randall to get a great point guard?
I think it depends on who we're talking about, but yeah, I'd be willing. I think
he's the only guy I'm sitting there besides Ant, protect this guy. It's a nice 1-2 punch. I don't want to get rid of him. Put everybody else together. Get a point guard.
Yeah, it's hard. Like Bus said, we just don't have a playable point guard at the end of games that can actually defend and be consistent. But it's hard because we have, we can play Nas, we have Rudy Moore, we got bigs that can play more in the games, and we just don't at the point guard position. So if it takes trading Randall to get a quality point guard, I'd be down. Do I love it? Absolutely not. I'd rather have him on the team, but I just think that's a bigger depth issue for us right now.
Buzz, where are you at on that? Would you trade a guy who's actually doing the job you've asked him to do, right? He's stepped up the entire season this year. He's got us at least wherever we're at, in my opinion. Do you trade him to get the potential of somebody to come in here and work well with Ant and take it to the next level?
Yeah, if you do something like Randall, you're obviously looking at a higher contract guy like John Morant or whatever. I know that name's been rumored around. I would prefer more of a trade around the fringes, like one of Spinny's guys like Peyton Pritchard or TJ McConnell, somebody that's not on a high contract and it's not going to cost as much through a trade. So that way you could still have Randall on the team. That's what I prefer. I don't think we need another quote unquote alpha guy. And especially in the John Morant case, I don't want him at all. I don't want that dude.
Yeah, I don't.
Literally at all. I saw LaMelo ball floated around. Don't want him at all. That dude's hurt every other game. I would rather just have more of a team player fringe point guard guy than a guy who's going to come in and potentially think he's the alpha when Anthony Edwards so clearly.
What do you think of that? I love that thought, Buzz. Spinny, what do you think of that? Because if you do that, you don't possibly have to give up the Randall. Maybe you can throw DiVincenzo and some other stuff at it and get yourself a good. Say that again. I'm sorry.
I mean, I obviously agree with Bus and like that better. I think that the team as constructed is great, and we've seen, especially over the last couple of years, that depth in the playoffs is what is important. So if we can get a good on the fringe point guard option and keep Nas, McDaniels, all those guys, and can be more of a by committee depth team in the playoffs, I think we'll be better off than if we trade our depth for more of a star.
Gotcha. All right, guys, I appreciate you very much. Appreciate you coming on. Spinny, I'd like you to spend some time in the corner and think about what you said today. I want to know, where do we pick up Hard-Headed Sports if we need it? Bus, where can I pick it up?
You can always get us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
That's all it takes.
The only time I'll spend in the corner is dropping noon ball threes on your head in the corner. That's the only time I spend in the corner, Al.
And it's probably true. It's really sad. I appreciate you both. We'll get you back here on Thursday. It's Hard-Headed Sports with Spinny and Fetty Bus.
Tired of one-sided media and device